I want to get to the E9 real quick. Lee, these are 9 fun questions we like to ask. Let's just skip the first one and go.
Yeah, that's
first
fine.
one.
I'll ask you,
Lee
how about this
Trevino.
one to start off? What's the most you've ever beaten your age by? Most amount of shots?
Probably 8 shots.
Nice. That's good.
What was that? Were you in your like mid 70s in there and you shot in the 60s? Yeah, that's kind of what I was.
Yeah, I was
It has
about
to be by a lot.
77 maybe. Yeah.
That's tough to do. Beating it by 8. There ain't many that can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next question. Do you think over the course of time you sent more dozen roses to your wife or Barbara Nicklaus when you first joined the Champions Tour?
You heard about that?
Love it.
I got to explain that to people. Well, if it was to Barbara Nicklaus. I sent her 30 dozen for the year.
She loves you.
Yeah, she loves me. Yeah.
God bless you.
You were trying to keep Jack at home. You didn't want him out there on the Champions Tour playing against you.
That's what I told her. When I turned 90, and I won 4 out of the first 5 tournaments in the senior tour when I turned 50 in 1990. And I specifically called Barbara Nicklaus and I said, listen, you keep Jack at home. I said, for every tournament that I play in, that he stays home, I'm going to send you a dozen roses. And I played 38 tournaments in 1990, and I sent her 30 dozen roses. He only played 8.
That's beautiful.
That's a good strategy. Hell of a strategy. Where should I start here? All right, I'll give you this one because we brought it up. As you famously said to Tony Jacklin, you don't have to talk today. You just got to listen, right?
Yeah.
Give me one guy. Was there any one guy in particular that you talked to or when you're in your heyday more than usual because you know they really didn't like it? Tony Jacklin aside.
Not really. I tried to talk to Jack when we played, but Jack walked too fast, and I couldn't keep up with him. His stride wasn't long, but it was quick. And man, after about 100 yards, I mean, I had to slow down. I'd slow down. I never finished the story when I was talking to him because I couldn't keep up with him. Yeah, he was the one I like to talk to. I talked to Mr. Hogan one time. I played with him at Champions, and they asked him, and he says, "Yeah," he says, "We talked a little bit because I was scared to say anything because you know he was very meticulous about his golf. You know the way he played. Yeah."
Yeah, you two opposite ends of the spectrum there in terms of how you operate on the course.
All right, next one. What paid more, your rookie year on the PGA Tour or your royalties from Happy Gilmore?
Oh, I think I'm still getting royalties from Happy
Hell
Gilmore.
yeah.
Yeah, I get mailbox money. I still get it. Yeah, but yeah, probably Happy Gilmore. I got a pretty lump sum in the beginning too.
Wonderful. That was some wonderful acting. I loved it.
How many takes? How many takes
Yeah,
for that line?
that's great. See, I told him, I said, that covers all the languages.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's great.
Was that one take? Did it only take you one take to get that one?
Yeah, we 15 minutes. I did 4.
Nice. Well done.
In the parking lot. You know where it was? It was in the parking lot at the PGA National in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Oh.
They called me up, and my manager called me up and says, listen, this guy's doing a golf story. He's a hockey player, and he's doing a golf show movie, and he wants you to do 4 cameos for him. I said, sure. I said, well, where do you want to go? And he said, well, you can go anywhere. So I called him up, and they said, well, we need a parking lot because we want to put a clown's head, you know, in there like a miniature golf course. That's why they only shot from the waist up. And I said, how about, you know what, a good parking lot? I said, PGA. I said, go to the PGA headquarters. I said, they got a big parking lot there, and that's where we went. Yeah.
Now, those royalties are going to keep coming. That thing ain't going anywhere for a long time.
Yeah.
My next one, going back to your gambling stuff. Was there any gambler out in West Texas or somebody that's like a relatively unknown, the best gambler you ever played against back in your hustling days that was toughest to beat?
No, not really. I had, you know, the kid that could play better than I couldn't putt a lick, and he was young, and he was the assistant pro at Cedar Crest, and his dad was the second Bobby Jones, and it was a kid by the name of Bobby Moreland. His father was named Gus Moreland, And you need to look this guy up one time. I have a book of him. The reason I know him so well, because I was close to the family. But he just about played everything. Walker Cup. I mean, he did it all. He did it in the 30s, late 30s, early 30s. And Bobby Moreland was the toughest one I ever had to beat. But I would clip him because he putted so bad. Because he didn't play one round of golf that he didn't three-putt at least 4 greens. Yeah, and it was his home course.
Yeah.
You know, when you start three-putting greens in your home course, you got a problem with the stroke. Yeah.
That is never good. All right, obviously it's not going to happen for a very long time, but let's just say you got one last round of golf in you. Where are you playing it?
Cypress. Yeah, at Pebble Beach. I think Cypress Point is just the most magnificent place I've ever been. Pine Valley I love, but I can't walk Pine Valley because it was, it was a lot of sand. The way you walk on it, it's very difficult golf course to walk. But Cypress Point, in my opinion, for the exception of the 18th hole. Mm-hmm. The 18th hole is very weak. You know, they need to redo something with that thing. I tried to get them to lower it. I told them, I said, you need to put the tee up another 4 feet, and you need to lower the green about 15 feet. And I said, then you have something. And I think the people say, what's your favorite hole at Cypress? I said, the par 3. And they said 16. I said, hell no, 16. I said, 16 is not a great par 3. I said, you got a tee and you have to hit over the ocean to a green. That's not any, there's no architecture there. I said, now, 16, 15.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
I'm with you.
That is the greatest par 3 I've ever played. And what do you hit to it? 8 iron, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Most.
Beautiful hole.
I'm with you on that.
What a hole. And the one before it is not too bad. You're 14 up there on the hill.
That's a tough par 4.
I just love Cypress. I just absolutely adore it. Yeah.
Yep. Tough.
Good answer.
Tough one to beat. All right. This might be a tough one to answer as well, but I always find it interesting to ask because it's not always what you think. But if you had to go back in your career, the one shot you're most proud of, does anything come to mind?
Well, I made $1 million in Traverse City with a hole-in-one.
That was a good one.
But I'll tell you what, I won the Dunhill Cup at the Woburn Abbey, and I beat Seve. We were playing 36 holes on the last round, and I was about 5 or 6 shots behind him, and I caught him, and I was playing in front of him, and I was so far back that my wife had checked out, taken the luggage, gone to the airport in London to check everything in because we'd had a rain delay. And I ended up winning the tournament and she wasn't there. And I hit 3-wood about 240, 2 inches from the hole. And I actually pushed it a little bit and it bounced left. It was going in a bunker and the ball bounced left and ran up on the green about 2 inches from the hole. I made eagle on the last hole and I beat Seve by a shot.
That's sweet.
That's awesome.
I was pretty proud of that one. Yeah.
All right,
nice one.
Last one for me, and I don't know if you'll remember this, but you and I were out at Merido one day, and we were on the putting green.
Yeah.
And this kid came sprinting by, and 2 cops were chasing after him. And everyone knows you and loves you. And when you saw these cops running, you immediately turned around to the cart and put your hands up on the cart and like, don't shoot, don't shoot. Do you remember what the cop said to you?
No, I don't remember.
He said, too much paperwork, Mr. Trevino. We got to go get this guy.
I used to kid every time I see a cop, I'd get up against. I'd put my hands up on the hood.
So good.
Just get it out of the way.
I wouldn't do that now because they're a little irritated. You know, they're treated like third-class citizens now, which angers me a lot.
I'm with you on that. But I will never forget that day because you and I we're on the putting green just putting, and this kid comes sprinting by. Apparently he shoplifted, and the cops were chasing after him.
Just some random kid?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a dude on the golf course? Oh.
Yeah. That was like Peter Jacobson tackling the guy nude at the Open. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was a pretty good tackle,
That was good form.
Good form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big dude.